Vergel, we're discussing here not only the apology, but also the role of the press.
Yes.
Now, and there are debates actually on whether Mr. Erwin Tulfo crossed the line in the exercise of press freedom. And earlier you were talking about the misappreciation of the role of mass media.
Yes,
Maybe you can
exactly.
expound on that?
It seems to me that the likes of the Tulfos think that the role of the press is to defend the downtrodden. You know, the role of the press is to ferret out the truth in the public interest and let the truth, let the consequences
So it's
happen.
not public service.
No, it's not. There are other organizations whose role that is. You know, ours is simple. We are watching the powers that be. We want to ensure that power is not abused, and by doing so, possibly, indirectly, we are defending those who are who may be or may have been disfavored by power.
But are you saying that they can't go hand in hand? That you cannot be a newscaster, for example, or a journalist, and at the same time do some advocacy work
Not
or
consciously.
public service?
Not consciously. It happens as a matter of course. It is not that, look, I am a newspaperman and therefore necessarily a defender of the downtrodden, and therefore I consciously will defend the downtrodden. That's not the case. I mean, it happens as a matter of course. As you seek the truth and reveal the truth as part of your role as watchdog on the powers that be, the downtrodden are protected as a matter of course.
Okay, I mean, for me, that's fine. No? But let's say somebody says, okay, don't call me a journalist. I'm not a reporter. Call me a commentator if you want. Call me an opinion, whatever, if you want. But that still puts you under the same regime of
Yes, that's an excuse.
your expression. And
You still hold the great power of a means of public communication. Still, you do.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
Okay, but
That's an excuse.
Vergel, General, I have a question before, kasi lumalalim yung usapan natin. It really does go to some conceptual soul searching. But that's my question. Do you really think this particular episode is triggering a real soul searching among media, or was this just an isolated comeuppance? I mean, really, because in reality, a lot of people are saying, oh, nakakita ka ng katapat mo. But the reality is, matagal na naman ganyan yung the Tulfo brand of journalism, as they call it, whatever you want to call it. But because there are a lot of journalists and journalist groups also that were very quick to say, wait a minute, whatever you make of this case, let's be clear. That's not a journalist. He's not one of us. In fact, he works for PTV4, which is very convenient to not have these deeper,
So if
higher
he works
level.
for PTV4, he can savage anyone. I mean, is this...
But even if you're with PTV4, you can be a journalist. You should be a journalist as well.
No, never mind journalists, because we can split hairs here. My point is that you hold a power. You can weaponize that means of public communication, which apparently the Tulfos have done. Never mind journalism. But you go on the air, savaging this man. I mean, that is slander. You know? And that should go to court and be decided by the court whether indeed.
You're starting to introduce an important context here, that Erwin Tulfo, in fact, now works for the government station, for the government communications apparatus and so on. I'll let you speak to that, but I want to throw in this other question as well. Do you think that's really the most constructive context to address this? Because look, we've started, as we said, into this soul-searching exercise for media in general, because matagal na naman nangyayari ito eh. I mean, not just the Tulfos, not just on radio. I mean, let's face it, this has been a particular brand of commentary in Philippine media for decades, for entire generations.
Yeah, we've been allowing this for some time. And I don't know if we have realized that by doing so, we have allowed for the likes of the Tulfos to
We
develop,
meaning media.
to develop a sense of impunity. As General Adan has said, a tipping point has been reached. You know, there are tipping points in every issue, and this one appears to have been reached. And I have no doubt that we all wonder what his employers, Television 4 in this case, will do given this scandal. This is a scandal, a great
Yeah.
one.
But isn't the tipping point, isn't the line drawn just specific to the military? Or don't cross that line when it comes to the military?
No. I think it just happened. That's coincidental. That's coincidental. The point that is put in focus here is the deportment, you know, the utterances of this person who styles himself as a media practitioner. This is the point. The subject is incidental. The subject is incidental in this case. The military or all that, it's incidental. We should focus, in fact, as media practitioners, we should focus on that thing.
So what should PTV4 do? I think essentially that's a question.
I think
What's the
PTV4 should
liability of
fire him.
PTV4
Should sanction him, and
at the very least?
at the very least, and if you ask me, firing is deserved.